Alright, I'm late to the game today because I went to bed exactly at 12 o'clock last night, hoping I would get some sleep, but I couldn't. I went to go work out yesterday, and I don't like, I, how do I put this? I don't know, I guess maybe because I'm getting older, but whenever I do an intense workout, which I did yesterday, um, I have trouble sleeping. And I especially have trouble sleeping if I don't consume enough protein. And yesterday when I got home, instead of going straight to eat, I finished up some work that was sent to me. Even though my shift or my work ended, I did my language lessons. Um, I did a couple other things, and then I finally went to go eat, which was late. It was like 8 o'clock, so I started working out like around 5:30. I didn't eat until like 8:30, almost 9 o'clock, and I had leftovers. And I hate when I do this to myself. My leftovers wasn't as much as I hoped it would be, and I went to bed exactly at midnight and was just hungry. So I just woke up around, no, I didn't wake up. I tossed and turned from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Just kept tossing and turning, couldn't sleep. So at 1 o'clock I got up, made myself an omelet, and just decided, since I couldn't sleep, just to watch some TV until I started falling asleep, but that didn't happen. So I just forced myself to turn off the TV and then just go to bed. So I am exhausted, and I have more than a few tasks I gotta do already. And because I'm tired, because I'm here late at the computer, I'm almost certain that today's gonna be the day that we have a reversal or some big move, and I'm gonna miss it. I'm not gonna see the channel or whatever. Um, and B, let me see. I don't know. I think I should get rid of this at this point. Although Adam Mancini did notice, I don't know why I didn't put it here yet. I always put them on TradingView, but I don't put it on. We have ourselves here a sorry, a megaphone, a smaller megaphone. So he got the bottom of the channel that I have here, but actually there's more like a megaphone being formed, and I think he put it down here, but whatever. So that means this is the first test of the megaphone. We've had at least 2 tests at the bottom. So that means the third test at the megaphone, if we don't break through that megaphone, we're gonna fall. Let me bring over a TradingView. So megaphone. So I wish I had seen this already. Then I would have known, hey, this would be a good spot to go long on Monday. Actually, no, it wouldn't have been. I mean, if you went long and scalped it at this trend here, go long here, and again, exit at this trend, go long here, and again, exit at this trend. And as you can see, we still haven't broken through this trend, which makes me wonder if if I could find a channel here. But I can't really see one, to be honest. Because do I add here and here, you know, or do I add here and, or I could even go from here to here. So that's the problem. I can't see it right now. As time goes on, I'm sure it'll become more obvious. But right now I can't see it. And when it becomes obvious, it'll be too late. So yeah, this just looks sloppy. I don't know. Anyways, I'll go ahead and read what Adam Mancini has to say. Oh, and let's look at VIX really quick. Oh, and SPY. I've got nothing on SPY. I wanted to look and see if I can find a daily or something above, but all I really have is that this is the August high of 2022, and that's where I thought we might go this week. But the only thing I can do is hope that we maybe retest the daily one more time and then go up, but it looks like this is ready to pop soon. And on the VIX, I was hoping overnight we might retest this level, but we didn't quite make it. And we're already back now to this 3-year low on VIX. So yeah, and I wanted to use this strike, but when the market opens today, this is going to open even higher, because you can see where we closed yesterday, which was, I don't know, here, or it was 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, come on, man, where's 4 o'clock? Anyways, we're higher than where we were when we closed yesterday. I guess not by a significant amount, but definitely higher. So yeah. All right. Quickly. Open up Twitter. Wait for it to load, which takes a while. Yesterday, my target in ES was 4288, and it was hit, and then spent the day basing under it after last week's 103-point rally. ES is now flagging since Friday. Plan today 428884 support. Okay. 4288 to 84. As long as above it, 4303 remains. 431517 next up. 4284 fails, ES starts a dip to 4274, 4261. And yesterday we hit 4261, bounced, hit 4274, bounced, and continued higher. So I don't know why I have 4278 here, but whatever. So yep, that was just wrong. And yeah, I was hoping we can get a little bit of a pullback, so this is Friday's expiration at 433. I was hoping we can pull back a little bit some point today and I can get in, but that's not gonna happen. I can see, not after this little rise here. So pullback's already occurred and I'm screwed. The only thing I can do now is perhaps choose a further out strike, like 4-3. I had to choose 4-3. Oh, this is today. I want to do Fridays. So 4-3-4 I can maybe afford, but I don't want to do 4-3-4. I'd rather do 4-3-3. But maybe we'll get a pullback today. I doubt it. We do seem to be rejecting consistently just below this trend, so this might push its way to Adam's target today at 4303 early and then pull back a bit. I don't know. I just feel in my gut because I'm exhausted and I'm not gonna be able to pay attention to what's going on, that today is gonna be the day where the opportunity to get in is gonna, or you know what, I might be wrong. Tuesday was the lowest point of the week probably. This is the point to have gotten in yesterday. And we've gone from 4268 and we're now to 4294. It's a 30-point jump. So yeah, I think this is already left. I mean, look, This morning I should have just gotten in as best I could here on this one and then just walked away. Or, as usual, because I keep doing this, I keep being confused as to which target to take. I probably should only focus on a Friday expiration if I can get in at least 2 options. Otherwise, what I probably should have done today is chosen today's expiration, and it looks like it should have been 4:30. Nope, I couldn't even get into that one. Don't have enough. So sadly, hilariously, it looked like 4:31 today is where I should have gotten in, and I could have gotten in this morning, maybe at the second target. And then look, there it is pushing. It's ready to go to 4,300 already. So yeah, I should have got in here, it looks like. Oh well. And already today on VIX, didn't waste any time. We're pressing, in fact, VIX opened under yesterday's low. So I guess, you know what? I remember this happened in 2021. I had a bar that was all-time high on SPY and an ES. And every day I had to keep adjusting that bar because every day ES and SPY would make a new high. It just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And like ultimate high, like the highest it's ever been. And I kept having the opposite of FOMO every single time. I was afraid to jump in. I was afraid to enter into a trade as soon as the bell rung. And there were numerous mornings in 2021 that, especially, you know, the bullish month like April, June, July, that the bell would just ring and the market would just start running. Maybe there'll be a slight little pullback in the morning, but then it'll just start to run. And that was just a continuous theme. Anyways, now we're approaching this trend again. And I guess if one had been able to get in already, and I almost wonder, I thought about taking a swing yesterday. When I would but I didn't know if I should do Wednesday or Thursday expiration. But anyways, it wouldn't have been necessary. I could have just gotten in this morning. I think. I don't know though, to be honest. I noticed they tend to not fill me in this first candle very often. It's not until the second or third candle that I can get in. And if I got in at 20, even with this massive move, I mean, I wouldn't have made much money. So again, it's frustrating because this is the only strike I can afford, but because it's so far out of the money, because right now on SPY, we are at 428. Actually, it's not that far out of the money, but you can see now we rejected off of this trend and 4299 where I have a resistance before. What I really would like is for this to chop around all day, to have a fall, like a fake breakdown. I want VIX to retest. God, I hate this program, man. To retest this level again, or maybe even at least retest yesterday's lows. Maybe that's a possibility. Not yesterday's lows, but you know, the high, overnight high, I guess. But I want it to retest. I want this thing to drop. But because that's what I want, that's not gonna do it. Oh my God, dude. I do see something on SPY. So I guess it's time to get rid of this, I suppose. But I'm gonna keep the megaphone. I should have put the megaphone on SPY. Look at that. It's already pushing. Um, so yeah, this little dip here. A few minutes ago, I should have got in here at 18. Looks like it's finally gonna push out of that trend, the yellow trend that keeps bringing it down. Yep, there it is. Great follow through. Well, every time he tweets that, I, I'm either I'm either not in the trade or I lost money. Now once it's broken through this, it's gonna pop, I think. Yeah. When it pulled back here, I should have got in. I pulled back right to VWAP, in fact. So I could have gotten in at 16, 17, 18 and sold at 29. Although I probably shouldn't sell the 29 because it looks like now it's going to keep pushing higher. Although oddly on VIX, I have now, oh no, never mind. It was just a wick. It wasn't even a candle, it was just a wick. And now it turned into the green candle. So reached Adam NCD's target of 43.03. There we go. So once again, if you read his newsletter and put your buy in overnight, so you can get bought in while pre-market, you're in. But if for some reason you didn't get up in time, you woke up at 7:30, whatever, or whatever, even if you got the computer when I did, there it is. This is when to get in. This thing's gone from 4291 to 4303. I mean, it's 10 points, but still. So yeah, I could have gotten in here at 17, 18 and set my sell at 29, which, yeah, it looks like that would have been the right spot, but it might push further. Now, if I had multiple options, I will sell most of them here and maybe leave one or two runners just in case, but I could only get one, so this will be the spot to sell, I think, but I don't know. But I don't want to go long now because this was Adam Mancini's target. But also, it could still push further if we can break out of this. The fact that we broke out of this trend, which again has been holding this thing back for the past couple days or most of yesterday, because I have this trend a little bit further down, but I can't change it here on Thinkorswim because it's a wonderful app that's, very user friendly and the trends are very reliable and always stay in the right spot. I may as well read Adam Mancini's tweet now. Great follow through off the open in ES. As we near today's 4303 first target, important to keep this simple. We rallied 130 points last Thursday, Friday, then we are now bull flagging for the next leg. 431517 remains next target. Bulls want to keep holding 428884, sells below. So anyways, more than likely, I think if I read his newsletter, he went long yesterday, sold most of it already, and is just having a trail, his runners. That's just so frustrating. I wanted a dip, I got the dip, but it happened at 4 in the morning. Yeah, this thing's gonna break through, I think. I was tempted to just get in here at 24, but like I said, we're at his first resistance. It just doesn't make sense to keep to buy now at the top, which is what I did on Monday and I got burned. But here it is, I'm wrong. This looks like it wants to keep pushing. So again, if I had gotten in back down here and just held, I'll be up more than 10 bucks right now. Or maybe 4304 was the target, not 4303. All right, enough. I gotta finish up some tasks, and my opportunity to trade is gone at this point. So I don't know what to do at this point. Even if I had stuck with my Friday plan, which was 433 on Friday, was it? 434? And that was 433. Yeah, I couldn't get in that one. It was too expensive. I wanted to go out to 434. And unless I had gotten into it within the second minute, I would have missed out on that one as well. Although hilariously, even if I sold at the very top, I would have only made 10 bucks. 9 bucks minus commission, so that's the hilarity of it. But I guess the intention was not for me to sell it so early, but was to hold on to it until Friday, but whatever. I don't know, man. All right, I'm out. I gotta take care of some stuff. So I just noticed I'm still here focusing on this little channel I found earlier. But when the price rejected off of 4304 on the next candle, look where we bounced at this trend where we've been rejecting for a while. Although technically, if I adjusted this, it bounced above it, so whatever. Anyways, it turns out I have way more tasks than I thought I did because I gotta do something now that I spent like an hour researching a bunch of court reporters. That was my task. Gave a list of court reporters, and they didn't look through the list. So now I need to just pick one. So, and I'm pretty sure if I pick one and they're not a good service, I'm gonna be at fault. Yeah, I think I'm just walking away from the trading now. I don't know, man. This was just a massive green candle here, starting at 9:30. I mean, just a quick run. Anyone who went long was able to go long right after the bell, and especially with the close to the money, at the money, in the money option, would have done great. This would have been a great scalp. I mean, I think SPY was at 428 this morning, so let's look at 429. If one could have somehow squeezed in down at the bottom here, say at 65 for 650, and was able to sell at 115, 120. Did we go to 120? Barely. But all right, looks like we're finally turning around. But to where? And do I continue looking at a Friday's expiration? Or do I just stop bothering? I don't know, man. Truthfully, it would make sense for me to wait for this thing to really pull back to a proper level, a proper spot. Otherwise, there's no real point in even trading. I'm going to go ahead and look at Thursday's expiration at 433 or 432. 432. I don't know how far this will pull back. I will need to pull back by quite a bit though. So screw it. I'm just going to go ahead and put, I doubt it'll pull back far enough for me to be able to buy this option, but who knows, maybe. I'll set an alert. if we get below 27, which is all I can afford. But I gotta get back to work. All right. All right, never mind. I just looked at the task that was given to me, and as usual, it's, oh, the court blah 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 because the discovery was da 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 da, and I need you to do this. And I'm here looking at it thinking, well, wait a minute. Everything that was just said to me before is completely useless in terms of information helping me to do my task as usual. The task that you're actually asking me to do, I don't know how to do, either because I did it once in the past 2 or 3 months under different circumstances, or I've never done it before. And that's just a continuing thing working here. This is also a continued thing, is the work phone will ring for like half a second and then stop. I don't know if it's spam. Okay, yep. All right, a new task just came in. Never mind. I wanted to comment that as you can see clearly, we're finally pulling back. We made a supply. The supply was retested. We fell back below both this channel and this channel, all very bearish, but not necessarily. And this is Friday. No, I don't know why I have Thursday, but I have Thursday at 432 for some reason. So let's see how far of a pullback this will be and where the opportunity to jump in might be. Remember, Adam Mancini says 4288 and 4284 are current support. So what would be ideal is if this thing can drop to 4284, close to this channel here, and then we can create a demand and we can bounce. That would be an ideal spot to get in. So let's see. I'm going to put an alert here just in case I miss out. Actually, no. I'm just leaving as it is, this alert here. But it looks like we're bouncing at one of these SMAs. So, oh well. I guess I had my hopes up, but we didn't quite make it. I just realized I'm so tired of looking at anything beyond ODTE. I just realized this pullback here, if I had gotten in with today's expiration at 4:30, I could have gotten in here at 26, which is right the bottom of where I could have gotten in. I could have put my buy in at 26 and hope that they'll scoop me up. And look, already I'll be up like $15. I mean, I probably would have just sold at 37 just to scalp a quick $10 or whatever. But look at that recovery already. So a quick sell back down here. We didn't even make it to Adam Mancini's target, but we're already turning around and coming back up. Oh man. So as per usual, while I'm stuck focusing on work, price pulled back to where I have my alert. The alert was set. I don't know which one. I think it was for this one, 4:30. Yeah, it's this one. And I've set my alert at 27. It hit, and here we are. It reached as low as 23, and it looks like we're bouncing at an SMA I have, and also I put another clone for these yellow clones, but it doesn't show on Thinkorswim properly. Remember, I can't clone these things on Thinkorswim now unless I zoom back to a daily and try, but then at a daily I won't be able to see where the clone will line up on a 15 candle. Just another reason why I despise Thinkorswim. If I just try and clone it here and move it, you saw yesterday, it'll be all skewed. So here I could have gotten in, and watch, let me just show you what I'm talking about. So I threw a clone in here because it lined up well at a level further in the back and further back in time. And notice like it just slices across here. But you know what? It could just be a complete coincidence. Maybe you just bounce at this SMA, or maybe for whatever reason 491 is really now a support level, because it seems to be at this point. Because look, pre-market we were bouncing here as well. So this is It's not a level Adam Mancini mentioned, but it's clearly there's something going on here. But I don't know necessarily if I had gotten in here, even if I got in at 23. Oh, look. Yeah, well, I don't know. How I would not have known that it would have gotten to 23 is what I'm saying. I set my alert at 27. Maybe I would have thought to buy in at 26. And you can see we just made it to 35. I don't know. Maybe it'll turn around. I don't know. But um, I need more of a pullback. I need this to come back down to 4284, preferably. And then maybe I can take it long there. So right now it's just chop for me. Yeah, I was right. This is something I've never done before, so needed to be explained to me how to do it properly, and I think I did it, but knowing me, I probably screwed up. All right, here we go. We got to 4288, and it looks like we're starting to bounce. So, um, I don't know, but this is not where I want it to go. I want it to go to 4284 and bounce. That's what I would like. So I'm gonna go ahead and put an alert here. A little bit lower. Yeah, we may not make it down there, but so be it. On VIX, I haven't even been looking at VIX, but this is notable. We peaked just below yesterday's all-time low, whatever. I was going to be adjusting this for a while, but we're pulling back. And as I said, I would like to see a pullback here to the pre-market high and then turn around. This is what I would like to see. Interestingly, though, remember I said that we formed a supply and retested it here, close to Adam Mancini's target? Dude, this was an obvious short. This was an obvious short. I should have taken this short and then exited here at 4288. If I had, I really don't want to change this. But, you guys know. I don't have to change and show you the put option. Obviously, this probably would have gone, depending on what option I picked, from let's say 20, for example, if I had gotten in here at this candle. And this is probably now like 50, 60, I guess. I don't know. Maybe not that much. It's not that big of a move. You know what? Screw it. Let's see. Let's look. Because I gotta find a court reporter. Oh, look. So it looks like this is the bounce point after all. 4288. I was hoping it would go lower, but I guess not. So had we gotten in on this next candle here at the bottom here, or I don't know when I started the video, but we were down here at 17. If this can turn around enough to get to like 28, 29, 30, scrape a quick $10 here. But anyways, I'm still curious about this put. Let's see if we took the 428. Yeah, it wasn't that big of a move, but one could have gotten in. This candle started at 10 o'clock. This is not 10 o'clock, I'm sure. Here it is, 10 o'clock. We could have gotten in. Oh no, I couldn't have afforded that one. 27? Okay, I could afford this. I could get in at 20 and sold at 40? Did it make it to 40? Almost. I probably wouldn't have gotten filled. Well, according to this, oh no, 43 that's where we opened. So yeah, I probably wouldn't have gotten filled. It would have been ideal to get in at 18. There's a couple opportunities to get, or 3 opportunities in these 3 candles at 18, and then sell at 38, 39. I don't know if I would have been filled there either. But anyways, let's switch back to where we were before, which was what? 30. This could be the bounce point. I don't know. This candle closes in a couple of minutes. Let's see if we looks like we're forming a demand. And we're going to form a demand. That'll be ideal. If we form a demand here, just above Adam Mancini's support, it gets retested. We can get in at, I don't know, 18, 19. And then it starts to push again for a return trip to 4304. That would be excellent, actually. But still, on VIX, I wanted to see a return to that level. It looks like that's not going to happen. I mean, really being bold, I would like to see a return to test the megaphone on VIX and then have a strong bounce and then create a new low. But I don't know if that's going to happen. For that to happen, VIX will have to have a pretty strong sell-off. So I don't think that's going to happen. Let's see if there's anything new on SPY. I'm wondering if perhaps I should have raised this line up somewhat. I think it's perfectly where it is there. I mean, look where we rejected though. Perfectly rejected there. So again, this would be a good spot to take this short. I have my SPY chart, but unfortunately my email for work is blocking it. So it would be great if I had another screen where I can look at SPY at a separate screen. I actually did ask my employer for an extra screen, but they never sent it. I also asked for another chair because this chair I'm sitting on is, I would say, yeah, it's about 11 or 12 years old. I don't know how long desk chairs last, but this one's very uncomfortable, and my back hurts often sitting here. But I knew even when they said they were going to get these things for me that they weren't going to do it, so I didn't bother. So here we go. Demand is being formed in ES. Um, I had a chance to get in, but I was busy yakking and looking at SPY. But that technically isn't the step, isn't the process. Remember, the strategy is for this candle to close, right? And we've officially formed a demand, and for that candle to get retested. So supply formed, and I bet you it looks cleaner on SPY. Perfectly clean. Supply formed here, and I should mark it for now. I gotta remind myself to take these supply demands off each day so I don't clutter up the chart. Supply was formed. Supply was retested, and this is a perfect retest. It's right within the range. So this is at 40.49, and supply was tested at 0.4. So beautiful retest on supply. Although if you're doing MK strategy, you wouldn't have done this because this is too early in the day. Unless we return to that level, then you can reject it. But right now, we're going to wait to see if this demand forms. And then, if it gets retested, then we take it long. That's the process. I've already done this. I don't understand. When they save things on Dropbox, it says it on my screen. But I guess they're not looking at the screen the way I do. So yeah, it's important that this candle closes above and we form that demand. Then we can retest it. The thing about the retest that bothers me though is sometimes we'll fall below the demand line that's created, but then, it'll still close above it. So it technically hasn't invalidated the demand zone. But when it comes down like this, I get spooked and I don't know if I should get in or not. So I'm just curious. I want to look at, since we've fallen quite a bit, I want to see what Friday's option at 433 might know. It's still too expensive. All right, let's go back to ES. I'm still upset that I did not consider taking this short. That would have been a good trade. Well, if a demand doesn't form here, I actually would like that. I actually would like this to fall even lower. And like I said, I want a demand to form here at 4284, confluent to this channel here. In fact, really, I wouldn't mind testing the bottom of the megaphone one more time, to be honest. But the fact that we've already tested it twice, yeah, I wish I had seen this earlier. I mean, I did. I saw this channel yesterday. When did I put this channel up? But it was this one. It was too late though. I think it was after we had our bounce here. Or was it here? Actually, this is 9:15. Didn't we? Hold on. I'm so confused. Yeah, it was 9:30 that we had our bounce there. 9:30. So I would have to have known. I didn't know that morning that's where it would bounce. It was afterwards that I found the oh, there it is, dropping even lower. So if you were in a put here and you had runners, you would sell most of your position here, 4288, and then see if you can have a couple of runners go down to 4284. VIX is still steadily rising. All right, the time to jump in. Oh, it's pushing down even lower. So is this it? Is this a spot where we might turn around? Or are we going to push even lower? Man, this put would have been a great play. Yeah, this is probably the spot where we might bounce. 1, 2, 3. This would be number 4. I don't know. I'm tempted to go in, but I'm afraid this is going to push down even lower. On SPY, because I adjusted that lower channel, it looks like we've broken through the bottom of that channel. And kind of have on ES. All right, we have about, I think, 6, 7 minutes until this candle closes. If bulls can form a demand here and push up, this will be good, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But this would have been an excellent, excellent put, man. We even formed a supply on a 30-minute candle now that I put the email out of the way. I still have one task left. I still gotta find a court reporter. And since I can't pull up Outlook, I can't pull up my sent emails on Outlook, which is the stupidest things. I have to use a filter and try and find that email with the list. If I had known that I was be given the task of both looking up other court reporters and try to decide which one to use on my own, I would have just saved the list myself, but I didn't. Yeah, it looks like this is the bounce point. I don't know. I'm I got the itchy trigger finger to just jump in, but I don't know if now is the right time. I think I should wait. It's just 5 minutes till this candle closes. I should wait. Why am I saving it there as opposed to the pleadings? Oh my God, dude, I'm so. Please say the documents available at the link below under document subpoena production. At the link below? This is a chain mail of like 7 different mails. Which link are you referring to? Just exactly like my mother, man. Just give incomplete explanations. I just saved all of this under documents. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna see if the demand forms here, but I gotta step out for a bit. If I wanted to short the break of this channel, this pattern here, I would want to short it after a retest. So we broke through, looks like we retested it, and now we're falling. So this makes me even less inclined to long. So it looks like this is gonna fall even further. Also, I realized I took a peek at my TradingView on my iPad, and I don't quite know, because the thing that annoys me about this megaphone that we have developing here. Hold on. Speaking of which, Tesla is the only thing that's strong. Everything else is going down. Just want to note that. And the VIX is going up. I know, I'm sorry, it's a big mess. But if I zoom out, and I'm gonna have to zoom out to like the 1 hour. Again, I wish there was a way I can click a button and take off all of the levels. Or I wish there's a way that I can like lock the certain patterns and make it so that if I delete, they don't go away. But I don't know what this lock really means. It doesn't really explain what that means. I don't know if that means that no one else can edit it if I give access to other people. So I don't know. But if you can see here, this is the megaphone pattern right here. And it's only been tested 2 times until today. Actually, no, I take that back. This was the 3rd time. And this was confusing to me because I saw this the other day on Monday. I thought, okay, this is it. This should start selling off, because if it doesn't break through on the 3rd test of the megaphone, then that means we're going to sell. But we didn't, obviously. And now we have this mini megaphone that we're working on now. So I don't know. Maybe 4274, 4275 will be the next spot that we turn around, possibly. Okay. That could be the spot where we retest 4274. That would be interesting. That would be a nice retest of this channel that we broke out of. But still, it would appear that when the supply was formed, taking this short would have been a massive, massive win. This is a pretty monstrous move. I'm being exaggerating, but relatively speaking, for the rest of this week, this is a pretty strong move. If I look at this whole entire week, this is a pretty straight trend right now. So it's time to stop looking at or it might be time to start looking at oh my God, dude, a point of entry. And I think it's time to get rid of this, right? But yeah, this is what I'm saying. A retest of this and you can scalp it. But I don't know if 4278 is going to hold. Also, it's time to choose a different option if I am going to go long again, which would be risky, I know. Maybe to avoid theta decay at this point, I should try Thursday's expiration. 431. Wow, we're already at where I can barely afford to get in. We have come pretty close to where I wanted VIX to go and reject. Well, it looks closer on my other chart because that chart's tiny. Wow, that's weird. I have a craving for French fries. But after yesterday's workout, I really need to get some protein. Oh man, let me tell you a quick story. I know I tell too many stories. I think I mentioned before that when I was working at Whole Foods, there was this black guy that would come in that clearly looks, muscular, shredded, just looks like a bodybuilder. But not like super big like a bodybuilder, super big, but clearly this guy is bigger than the average guy. And without fail, because remember I told you Miami is extremely shallow. Everything here is about image and money. That's all that really matters in Miami. Character, integrity, honesty, all that stuff doesn't matter here in this city. This is a city of corrupt, trashy people, and also not the most intelligent people. So without fail, every time he would come into the store, he would spend, no lie, on average an hour in the store. When I go shopping, I want to get my stuff and be out. I'm done. If I could afford to hire someone to go to the store and pick up the stuff for me, and trust that they pick up quality items, I would rather do that. Not use that Instacart nonsense because you can't trust them. But customers will walk up to this guy and ask him questions about working out and bodybuilding and whatever. And initially, when he would come in, he wouldn't say anything to me, and he would strut. He would walk like this, and you can tell this is somebody whose his entire identity. And remember, I spoke to you about how there's a lot of humans who they identify strongly with something regarding their life. And I was that person. When I was a cop and I had my home, I had the NSX. I'm telling you, the NSX is not a popular car. You rarely see this car, even back then, in the early 2000s. And I was known as the cool cop with the NSX amongst some people. Other people just didn't like me because that's life. I've learned that when you're an extraordinary individual, either you swing towards the good side, you're more of a good person, or you swing towards the bad side and you're sort of a jerk and you screw people over. You're always going to upset people. Doesn't matter which side of the pendulum you swing. And a lot of people didn't like me. A lot of wannabe thugs or rich chads that lived in the area, they didn't like me. And but I was known as a guy with the NSX and with the motorcycle. I was that guy. That's how I was identified by. And when I had to sell my NSX, it was devastating for me. And of course, sell my home, lose my career, lose my retirement, lose everything. It was all devastating for me, and it was extremely humbling. And yeah, so imagine an athlete who's at the prime of their health, they're just getting into a professional league in whatever sport they're playing. Let's say it's football, soccer, whatever. And then through no fault of their own, they get into a car accident or something, and they get an injury that isn't like a extreme life-changing injury for the average person. Maybe you'll have a slight inconvenience when you work out a little too intensely, but for a prime athlete, this destroys their career. Now this person's whole identity has been turned upside down, you know? So this guy struts around, his identity is his body. That's who he is, and he gets all this attention, da 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 da, da whatever. But here's the thing that trips me out. I saw him yesterday when I was working out, and he came up, he smiled, he said hi, whatever, whatever. But the reason why I used to follow him, but I unfollowed him on Instagram. The reason why I keep my distance from him, he's sort of like militant. He always talks about how white people and black people are going to have a civil war, there's going to be some fight, whatever, whatever. And I'll entertain his thoughts when he would come in because, I try and mirror the other person to make them feel better. Because I was hoping that this guy might help me get clients. This guy might, be someone that, says, hey, you know what? I have a client that I can't fit in my schedule. Do you want to pick him up? But he was never that kind of guy. He never followed me back on Instagram. If I liked his post, he would never like any of my posts. So this is a guy who's a taker. He's a taker. He doesn't reciprocate anything that you give him. And he had a client with him, and I told him, hey, let me know if I'm in your way. I'll get out of the way so you can train your client. Look, we bounced. It looks like we're bouncing exactly here, and it turns out that this candle is about to close, but we may close with a demand after all, having been formed. Which sucks because that means I should have gotten in when we retested 4278 here at 25 or 24. That would have been much better. Now I can only hope that this candle gets retested, but I don't think it will. Because the bulls want to reclaim this channel now. What is this? Alright, I gotta save this. So yeah, this is unfortunate. Um, it might not turn around. Alright, here's the next candle. Now let's see if we get a retest. See, what can happen now is we can either retest and bounce, or this thing's gonna collapse and fall down even further. And unfortunately, I can only get in at 26. So it would need to be a pretty strong retest. Which might not happen. This is Thursdays? Yeah, this is Thursdays. I wonder if I should switch back to today's expiration again. Well, anyway, let's see if it comes back down. I'll put a buy-in at 25. I don't know if I'm being too greedy. I'll put a buy-in at 25, which is my entire account, really. So we'll see. My worry is that this is just gonna come back down and push and fall down even further. But we've come so close to the retest, I think this might continue without me. I need to, I need to watch it carefully. I don't want to just recklessly jump in. But anyway, so this guy came by and, he's like, oh man, you getting bigger? He's like, yeah, I work out a couple times. And I heard him talking to his client later on. And I don't know what the conversation was about, but he was asking me about my workout, and I just humbly said, yeah, I try and get out here only 2 or 3 times a week, so I try and push myself, but I don't want to push myself too hard. Then he just goes off. He's like, man, you come work out with me on Muscle Beach, man, bro. You wouldn't hang with me. When I work out, I just keep going. I knock it out, man. You gotta destroy your body. You gotta destroy your being. You gotta be willing to take your body to the absolute limit. And I'm just nodding, thinking, man, can I get back to my workout, man? I'm just listening, being polite. And later on, between my workout circuits, when I take an extended break, I read my trading book, my psychological, my trading psychology book, and I overheard him, and he said this to me. The first time I met him, he told me that He only eats one meal a day. He's of course natural, because of course, right? Only eats one meal a day. Um, and I asked him, well, what does this meal consist of? And I remember him told me that he would eat like a piece of lamb. That was his favorite meat, lamb. And yep, there it is. That was the retest, guys. So I'm not gonna be able to get in unless I switch to a further out strike and go to 432, which I don't really want to do, or I go back to today's expiration and choose 429 and hope it pulls up. Even then, I can't get in. It's already too late. Whatever, man. What can I do? You know, it feels like I'm trying to shoot a moving target, and I have to pick a different gun that will be most appropriate to hit the target. And I don't quite know which gun to pick, and the target's moving, and depending where the target is, it depends on which gun. So that's what it feels like when trading options. All right, I'm gonna put a buy in at 26. Let's see if it pulls back. Nope, it's too late. It was too late. But in between my workouts, he was talking to his client, and he told his client that I heard the client say that he doesn't want to lose weight, he doesn't want to get skinny, he just wants to get a little bit more muscular. And the guy's like, yeah, yeah, man, working out with me, you're gonna get muscular, man, you're gonna get the body of your dreams. And I heard the guy say to the client that now apparently he doesn't eat meat at all, and he was telling the client that he only eats one meal a day. He has vegetables and some pasta. Now, I'm not huge by any means, but I I've done my research. I've had my own personal experience, and I can say this. There is no way, unless you're genetically inclined, you're just a genetic anomaly, that you can get as much fat, carbohydrates, and proteins you need for your body if you work out intensely by eating one meal and only consisting of vegetables and a little bit of pasta. There's no way you can get enough protein to do that. Absolutely. And here's the thing I've noticed. It's hilarious. This is something popular in TikTok, especially. I don't even use TikTok or have a TikTok, but I've noticed it a lot on TikTok because some of those videos and influencers get transferred over to Instagram. Are these people who are absolutely BS salesmen? They'll tell you things that just don't make sense. They're sort of unrealistic. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. But they'll tell you this with the absolute confidence, like the Wolf of Wall Street, and say this, that, and the other. Oh, look, I just took a peek at VIX. There's another reason why it's good to go long here. It's finally turning around by quite a bit. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I should have gotten in earlier. But you know what? Even if I got in, no, I take that back. If I could have gotten here at 20, I could sell here at 30 now. So now it's too late. It's done. My only option now is to switch to a 430, which is, you can see how far out of the money that is. See the big difference between 30 and 29. Whatever. But I know for a fact that I don't get enough protein. And yesterday I ate, oh crap, they did fill me. So looks like I might get burned today if this doesn't turn around. Um, Yesterday I had my morning smoothie, my oatmeal smoothie. That may give me about 40 grams of protein. I had my leftover dinner, which wasn't enough, and I can guarantee you that was maybe, if I'm lucky, 20 grams of protein. Um, and then I had my smoothie with my dinner, which is just really just fruit and vegetables, or I guess the only vegetable is spinach. Spinach, banana, apple, and some berries, and like maybe a half a cup of milk. And of course I water it down because I can't afford to use the whole milk. And and that's it. That's what I have. This is not looking good. I need this to push. Bears are trying to keep this below the channel, and bulls want to get this back above. And of course 4288 is going to be resistance now, so this is not good. I may end up losing money again today if the bulls don't start pushing. Um, I believe the statistics are, and this is a general rule, that you want to get at least 80% of your body weight in protein. So there's no way this guy's getting 80. And also, he said to the client that he only weighs 180 because the client's like, I want to stay slim, but I want to get too slim. And it's like the guy's like, oh yeah, you're gonna be skinny, you're gonna stay slim. Look at me, I'm slim. This guy is buff compared to me. This guy's like, I'm 5'7". This guy's at least 5'9", at least, and bigger than I am. I'm pretty confident that I weigh about 170. There's no way this guy's only 10 pounds heavier than me. There's no way. If he stood next to me, he's just like 20% larger than me in general. But he's saying he only weighs a buck 80. So he gave a weight that doesn't make sense. He gave a diet that doesn't make sense. There's not enough protein. He told the other guy that he should also only eat one meal a day, and that meal should consist of only vegetables and some pasta. And I don't know. It just amazes me, man. All right, this is giving me great trepidation. I'm trying to be patient, but this isn't looking good. Why is it every time I enter into a trade, following all the signals I should, it almost always goes against me or it just doesn't make the move? And now I'm getting backed up in some task here. I still don't know what this is. I gotta figure this one out. I don't know. It looks like the bulls are out of energy to keep pushing this back up. Now part of me is tempted just to exit and just take the $1 loss for commission. We bounced at a level. We formed a demand. Demand is retested. Now we just need to see the follow through. My concern though, if that doesn't happen, if this has happened before where the price doesn't seem to be moving, it just seems to be stagnated, and I get nervous, I get worried, and I keep thinking, you know what, this is worrying me, I should exit, and I don't, and then price ends up falling, and I end up losing money when I could have exited and broken even. This has happened more than a few times, and I've made videos where this happens. But then the flip could happen potentially, where I I I exit, and then the price starts to rally. So that's what's bothering me. And I generally feel as though the market is waiting for me to exit my position before it starts to make its move. Oh my God. All right, well, I'm going to put the exit at 20. That's where it's going to come down. I guarantee you. You know what? Screw you. I'm not putting any exit. I'm so sick of this. I'm just going to go ahead and step away and just, if I lose the full 20, I lose the full 20. I'm so tired of this. Every time I trade, per my rules, and I know there's not guarantee things are gonna go my way, but it almost never does. Look at this. Now I'm $6 in the hole. When did I get in at 26? Yeah, this is when it pulled back. So at no point was I ever in profit, except maybe when it hit 27. Come on, Bulls, man. Give me a break here. It would be nice. It would be nice if for once things worked my way. For once, and this thing turned around, pushed up to 36 somewhere, 37. Let me exit for $10, and I can just call it a day and go get lunch slash breakfast. And this candle's about to close in a couple minutes, and it would be very bad if it closes below the demand zone that had formed. So bulls really need to pick it up now and step it up. And it would be nice if VIX would start turning around for me. That would also be nice. I need VIX to drop. I need ES to rise. I noticed I put my stop loss at 20, and that's exactly where it went to, or maybe it was 19. VIX refuses to drop, man. Come on, bulls. Regain the channel. And bears, please do me a favor and take a back seat for now. You already had a nice sell. Damn it, dude. Oh my god, dude. So it looks like we just cannot regain that channel. I should have exited here at 25 and just taken a $2 loss. Oh goody, now VIX is going back up. We started a new candle. Green on VIX, red here. I'm gonna wait a couple more minutes. I'm just gonna sell for a loss. Because bulls have had this candle and now here to regain this channel, and they can't do it. If they can't do it within a half hour, then that's just pretty bad. And I'm just gonna take a hard loss. Because it looks like we're gonna lose this demand, the rate things are going, and VIX is going up. Screw it. So fed up, man. 50% of trading to me is just luck. And there we go. This week I went from 32 to now 19. Just so annoying, man. Just so absolutely annoying. You can follow all of your tactics and do everything right and still get burned. VIX was going down. Demand was formed. We bounced off of a level. We regained the channel. Doesn't matter. All of it doesn't matter. Still turned around and fell. Now still, you guys know how my luck is and how things work. There's still a very good possibility that before this candle closes in the next 12 minutes, it will turn back around and turn from this big bulbous red candle to a strong green candle that goes up to VWAP or something like that. And that was my target. I was hoping that this can work its way back up, break through 4288 and make its way at least to VWAP, and I can take my 26 what did I get in? I got in at 26, take 26 and exit at 37. I don't know if it would have made 37 because at 30 it reached a 30 here. No, it probably would. No, yeah, it would definitely hit 37 by the time we hit VWAP. But yeah, I guarantee you this is probably going to turn around now that I'm out of the position, that I'm no longer in the position. This is going to turn around and start to turn around. It's going to rally. So, but took a loss on Monday, had ample opportunities yesterday to make a profit, and I didn't take any of them. And now took another loss today. So, what are you going to do? Oh no, trust me, the slap in the face is coming. I already know it. I know it's coming. This is going to turn around and this is going to close at the very least above demand. And this is going to go ahead and rally. And the money I lost today would have been profit. You know why I say that? Because look, even though this thing keeps chomping around, finally VIX is turning back around and going down. I guess we rejected off of this SMA, whatever, and now it's going down. If this continues to push down a little bit further, then there's a good chance that ES will come back up. But we got 4 minutes left, and this could... What did I exit at? Was it 19 or 20? I exit at 20. So we're still at 20, but now we're at 21. Just a few minutes ago, we got as high as 22. But I could be wrong. But I mean, VIX is going down. So there's a very good likelihood, like I said, that this will close above demand. So the demand zone's not invalid. The demand zone is not invalidated. Can't even move my mouth correctly today. Now we're at 22. There it is. There it is. Never fails, man. Never fails. If I hold too long, I end up losing a lot of money. If I sell early, it turns around and goes in my favor anyways. Well, no, let me rephrase that. If I sell, period, not sell early, sell period. Because I have no idea. I don't know what's going to happen. For all I know, it could keep going lower. I sold at 20, but it could have dropped down to 15, 16, 10, 1. It wouldn't be 1, but you know my point. There's $3. I could have gotten back into my account. You know, I will say though that if I had chosen a strike further out, if I had chosen like a Thursday or Friday further out, let's say I chose the Friday at 433, the fluctuations wouldn't be as severe, you see? Although what would unfortunately when it starts to rally, the profit wouldn't be very severe either. But again, is this the one I picked? I don't remember. Yes. And there we are. There it is. VIX has gone back down now. VIX is broken below the level, and we're back now to. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The slap in the face that is always inevitable when I take a trade. Now, bulls have finally regained the channel. Although because of theta decay, we're now at 24 when earlier we were at close to 30. But at the very least, if I just wanted to cut my position, I could have cut at 25 and just lost $1, which is what I should have done back here. I should have done that back here. When I take a trade and it doesn't move in my favor immediately, and it takes a while, and a whole 50-minute candle comes and goes, I don't want to be in the trade any longer. But there it is. Now they've regained the channel, and now I can guarantee you this is going to push its way up to VWAP or higher. Or even higher. It may even make its way back up to a new high of the day. And I will be making another video, another YouTube video. I'll upload it saying, here is a day where market rallied and I lost money. Oh my God, dude. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Obviously, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't do this. I can't succeed at this shit, man. It's just gambling for me. Not for other people. For me, that's what it is. And here's the thing, if I never got in at 26, if I just said, you know what, I'm gonna wait for this to pull back. And then when it came down here, and then I would have to say, when this was one big bulbous red candle, I would have to say, you know what, I'm gonna go long now. When everyone else would be selling, because that's the logical thing to do, I'm gonna go ahead and go long at 16, 17, and then set my sell at 30 when we get to 4288 or 4289. But instead, I got in at 426. I got in at $26, and this thing went down to 16. So if I held my position and I sold at 29.30 to make a whopping $2 profit, because that's what it would be. If I sold at 29, $1 goes into commission, assuming Thinkorswim trading TD Ameritrade doesn't try and screw me over for extra money. And then the rest of the money, so really, yeah, $2. $2 of profit, which hell, for me is significant because I almost never make profit when I take trades. But there we are. There we are. I sold for a loss at $20, so $7 loss, and I could have just held and broken even or made some money. So the theme always repeats itself. And now we've made a new low of the day on VIX. The theme always repeats itself. Every 9 out of 10 trades I take will go against me. Even if I've done everything correctly, even if by the book everything should be going up, it would go against me. And it seems like the only choice I have whenever I do options is to just let it ride and risk losing all of it. That seems to be the consistent choice because whenever I sell, without fail, it turns around and goes in my favor. Except for Monday, of course. When I sold on Monday, that really dropped. But it did turn around eventually, if I remember, on Monday. Where is Monday? Yes, I got in here, like the dum-dum I am, and then it fell, right? Then it turned around eventually and went back up. However, my option would still not have been worth anything, the option I had got into by this time, because this is close to the end of, this is like close to 1 o'clock. Oh my God, dude. Well, I've got 2 losses in a row so far this week. Just can't believe it, man. I can't believe it. I get in here, I wait patiently, it comes down. I wait patiently here, it just comes way down and then turns around. Another thing I've noticed too, when demand forms and I put in a buy-in close to retest, there's many times where I'll put my buy-in much lower and it never reaches. It never goes down and I just sit back and say, well, I put my buy-in here, it didn't quite reach and now it just left without me. I can't I can't remember how many times that has happened when I've taken trades or when I want to take a trade. But then the opposite happens. I end up getting filled and I get in and then it goes way against me. I mean, I got it at 26 and I sold at 20. And some people will say that you sold too early. But I mean, what should I put my stop loss at? 50%, which would be $13. And sometimes I think that. I think I should put my stop loss at 50%. But then there are times where it would hit and I'll lose a large chunk of money and it just continues to go lower. And when my gut told me, hey, this isn't looking good, I should probably sell, and I should have sold earlier and preserved most of my capital. Instead, I hold by this 50% rule and end up losing much more. Also, I'm not even following my own rule. I said that I would trade based on a breakout or something affecting the pattern. Well, I mean, technically, I took the trade because we formed a demand and we were reclaiming this channel here, but that's not really a breakout, I guess. That's more like a break back into the channel. And I don't know how much of an edge that would be as opposed to breaking out of a channel. Do you get what I'm saying? So this probably wasn't a good trade to take anyways to begin with. Sadly, hilariously, even if I took a trade of the break out of the triangle or the pattern, that wouldn't have worked either. So I don't know, man. Man, this just keeps coming one thing after another. All right. Anyways, this video is long enough, and I failed again today. Another loss, so I'm just over it. Um, so, oh my God, dude. You know what? After I submit this, they said I'm walking away because it's been constant today for some reason. Um, you can see here, right after I stopped making my last video, we just had this quick push, and the bears just pushed this below. I think Adam Mancini tweeted, but it wasn't really informative, just other than the fact that we sold off here and now we're just chopping again. Um, I mean, that is informative. That's basically what's happening. And so yeah, if even if I had held my position, if I didn't sell quickly and just taken whatever $2 profit I could have taken, I would have been in a worse position now because we've just made a new low for the day. Uh, so it looks like bears are trying to keep this below this level. Oh, and sometimes anyone who's been following me for a long time, you know I'm extremely airheaded, and I will call supply a demand and a demand a supply. I would say bearish when I really mean bullish, and I guess the guy who posted complaining about my levels also posted saying, bullish is buyers and bearish is sellers, and I need to learn my stuff. Yeah, look, I'm not successful at this, but I'm not an idiot. I know what bullish means. I know what bearish means, but sometimes I say the opposite because my brain is dyslexic and I'm airheaded. Um, I generally think that when I get older, I'm probably gonna be one of those people that gets Alzheimer's. And the irony is, I've been terrified of three things, three main things in my life. One, being accused of a crime and being punished for a crime I didn't commit. And that kind of sort of happened, and I got burned. That's what caused me to lose my career and everything. Da, 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 da. Two is having to work for really racist, bigoted, shady people that manipulate and screw me over and just make my life a miserable hell. And that definitely happened for many years. I was dealing with that. And three, well, actually, there's four things. Three is getting Alzheimer's or getting senile and not being able to, control my own mind and having like panic attacks of just being really, messed up or losing my vision or losing my sight, something like that. Something major, just something, a big physical, mental impact to change your life dramatically. And of course, four is dying alone. I pretty much think all those things are going to happen to me in my lifetime. That's kind of luck I have. But anyways, this is basically if I zoom out, and you know what? Let me, since everyone's complaining about, well, not everyone, but this guy complaining about all my levels, let me just switch to SPY since I cleaned that up and look at it in a closer view. We formed this channel. We tested below the channel, um, rallied to the top of the channel, created a supply, and then just fell. Yeah, and this person asked, why do I have so many levels and they don't seem to match up with actual supply and demands or whatever, whatever. Well, I mean, I don't know what supply and demand he's using, but I'm putting my levels based on Adam Mancini's levels, and I used to put them on SPY as well. I tried to match the level. Let's say there's a major level on ES at 4275, and we're right now at 4275. Then I'll put on here SPY 4275. But what ended up happening is, like I said many times, a week from now, when we revisit 4275 on ES, if we revisited it a week later, it's at a complete, it isn't at the same 4275 on SPY. Instead, it would be like where I would have 4265 if I had that, for example. So I'm stopping putting levels on SPY. My God, dude. Okay, that's not for me, but I still gotta remember to put this one up. Um, Also, it's challenging for me to work and do this at the same time. I guess successful traders aren't even looking at, they're just looking at this. Maybe they occupy their mind with something else just as entertainment, but they're not trying to work while doing this, and it sometimes distracts me. So, I mean, I'm not trying to make excuses. If I say bullish when I really meant bearish, it's not because I don't know the meaning of the terms. So, I'm thinking some people who like to comment on my videos aren't really watching the full video, and I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to watch through a 2-hour video of some guy screwing up trading either. Um, but I don't know. Maybe I will try and just clear off a bunch of levels and just start over again. I'll just put the immediate levels that Adam Mancini gives on his newsletter. But again, I don't agree with not following. First of all, I pay for the service, right? I paid this guy for this. It's really cheap. It's only like $200-300 for the entire year, but I pay for his service. And if my videos haven't shown that he knows his stuff, I don't know what to tell you. The guy said, Adam Mancini said in his tweet this morning that 4303 was the target, and we reached the 4304. So if you decided you wanted to just go ahead and take a put at 4304, this would be a great play so far. If you were scaling out, you would scale out at his next level, which was 4275, I think, or 4288, I think. You would scale out here. So yeah, here, 4288, and then leave a couple runners for his next level, 4275. And how would that have not worked if you're doing futures? It worked perfectly. So again, I think the guy knows his stuff. I've been following him for a while. That's why I have all these lines where I have them. They're the lines that he gives. I don't talk about them that much because, except for what he mentions in his tweets, because I don't want to, put something that he's charging people for on here. So, so yeah, if somebody wanted to say, oh, you know what, I'm just not going to pay for a service, I'm going to look at this guy's YouTube videos and copy the lines he has. But they'll have a difficult time doing it because I have so many lines. I might have a line here that was formed from supply and demand, or I might have a line formed from Adam Mancini. So, and I sent a message to Adam Mancini when I first started doing my YouTube channel to tell him what I was doing. and to ask him if he had any issues with it, I will stop doing the channel or I'll stop showing his levels. He didn't respond, so I assume he didn't have an issue with it. Um, okay, hold on. I want to show something on TradingView. Check this out. Look where we're bouncing now. I mean, I don't know if it's legit or not, but I will say that the guy who's posting may have a point. Maybe I should only put a few of the major levels that Adam Mancini gives, and then just that should be it. The only lines I will have maybe are dailies or weeklies, and just focus on those because they're probably more than likely high edge or high likelihood trades. So I'll consider it. When people comment on my post and give suggestions, I appreciate it. I don't want to make it look like I'm not. I'm willing to learn from whoever is willing to teach me because for the most part I'm doing this by myself. But I think it's time to get rid of this one. I don't even know what the hell that one is. But yeah, I do need to clean up my charts. I've acknowledged that many times. What is this now? I thought I already have this scheduled. Okay, anyways, it's time for me to go get some lunch. Because if I don't grab it now, things will get busy later, and I won't get a chance to eat. Assuming, I hope it doesn't get busy, but it just might. But I am curious to see what happens here. One of these, like I said, I made a number of these March, May low clones here, and it looks like we are bouncing at this one, but I'm wondering if I should. No, I'm not going to adjust this one. This one looks perfectly fine where it is. Perhaps there's another one, but I don't want to make it so close to this one. So whatever. This was a major resistance level, and we're just below the megaphone. So maybe I can adjust the megaphone possibly. I don't know. But anyways, enough. All right, a quick update. Best to look at it on TradingView though. So it looked like earlier when I made my last video that we may be bouncing at this clone, this trend, but we formed a pretty strong supply here, which was where we bounced overnight and rejected. No longer could this hold, and we fell. But it looks like Bull stepped in pretty strong and kept us from going further down. This would be close to our Tuesday low, which is would have been a good spot to go long. Um, yeah, and we rose up close to the previous supply that was made, but so far didn't quite make it past that. I think this would be a 428 strike. That would be a good strike to pick. Nope, not even that one. It would have to be 427. Let me look in SPY and see where we are. I'm about ready to get rid of this now anyways. I mean, we did break through it. We got a retest of it. So basically, if you were going short here at the top of the channel and you went short when supply was formed, you would probably, I would say you would want to sell here. But if you decided to hold and wait for a breakout, but no, this would be a good spot to sell your position. If you had multiple positions, you can trail along, trail a couple of runners here. We formed the demand that screwed me over. I went long on this demand and it looked like we might make it back into the pattern. But now I've learned that, not learned, but now I recognize the mistake I made was trading based on a pattern, but it wasn't a pattern break. Price wasn't reacting from the pattern. It was reacting to the pattern, if that makes sense. We've already, the reaction to the pattern was here. That was the strongest, biggest edge pattern here. The next reaction was breaking from this. This should have been a short. I should have had my mindset to be bearish and not go long, even though we formed a demand here, and that's what messed me up. Is I'm trying to balance two different strategies here: the MK strategy and Adam Mancini's levels, and just using what basic sense I have of trading, we went back here, we rejected, and it looked like based on these wicks that the bulls were pushing this back up. And that's what kept me in that bullish mindset. But we failed to make it even to VWAP, and right back down we fell. And then chop, 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 another attempt to bring it back up and fell again. But this time the bears couldn't follow through, and for now at least it looks like price is coming back up, but still just a lot of chop. And Adam Mancini did warn about this in his newsletter. If I recall, he said that 427, oh, I think, you know what, I don't remember the range, but it's between 427 or 4260 and 429 and 4290, right about there, or 4299, whatever, is just going to be likely chop. So we had a strong rally this morning when the bell rung. That would have been a good scalp long. We made it to his target, and where I have a resistance here, and then it just sold off. Nice strong sell-off. So yeah. Interestingly though, on the VIX, despite what looks like only a slight turnaround, the VIX continues to go lower. I may have to adjust this. In fact, I will, to here. This looks like a better spot. Hold on. It's this obnoxious neighbor. I said it before. It sometimes just sounds like they're just walking by a shelf full of boots or something and just knocking one boot down, waiting a minute, knocking the next one down, and it just goes on and on. Um, do I see a pattern here? Hold on. Not quite in the middle. All right, that one doesn't look like, there's no other touch points except for this spot right here, so forget about this one. All right, I don't know. I don't know how much, maybe this actually should go here. Maybe, I don't know. God, I'm exhausted, man. Mentally, physically exhausted. I know it sounds lazy. I need to go downstairs and put money on my card to wash clothes. And God, everything about living in this building is expensive. Other than paying for the rent, you gotta pay to park, you gotta pay to wash your clothes. I just miss having my home. My home, $1,100 a month was my mortgage. And I had a garage, I had a washer and dryer. I didn't have to pay every time I washed my clothes. It was the washer and dryer cost me. And of course, oh, you want to hear a crazy funny story really quick? I know I'm full of stories like an old man. Um, this is back in the day when MySpace was popular and Facebook wasn't as popular. And my comp friend, my buddy that I tell you about, like really my only real friend, other than my Italian friend that lives in this building, we we I mean we hung out a lot, and we just hung out, drank, things that most young guys would do. And he met some sort of country white girl from Northwest Palm Beach area, like that's like a sort of Central Florida area. I mean, most people know where Palm Beach is. That's where Trump's mansion is. But obviously, she wasn't from there. And I went to the academy in that area, and I could tell you it's a very uh, sort of white conservative type of area. I say that, and I actually wouldn't mind living there, to be honest, though. Um, and he met her on MySpace, and she wanted to meet him. And initially, their plan was to have us go up and meet them halfway. And my my friend said, "No, we're not meeting you halfway. You guys need to come drive down here and meet us here in Miami." And they did. So they met us at a Starbucks, and my friend decided he didn't like the way the girl looked. The white girl is for him, and the white girl brought a Spanish girl, which was supposed to be for me. Now, me, I got to be honest, I like those country white girls. I like them. I didn't like the Spanish girl. My friend loves Spanish women. So that caused complications, and he decided he didn't want to be bothered. So he tried to ditch them. That didn't work. We ended up going to a restaurant, and he just said some of the worst things that made one of the girls almost cry. And me, being the stupid chivalrous person back then, offered to pay for their meals. I was such a moron back then. I'm still a moron now, but an extra one back then. And then we convinced them to come to my home where we continued to drink some more. The country white girl, let's just call her Whiskey Tango, decided to drink so much that she got alcohol poisoning, started vomiting and passed out on us. So my friend panicked and when he saw her vomit and I demanded he help me. And by the way, he lied to them. He told them that he was a paramedic, that he's in school to be a firefighter. All of this is BS, of course. I don't think he even worked at the time. He's like 26, 27 years old. He lives with his parents. And they were telling him, you're the paramedic. Kevin's the cop. What are you doing? Come help. And he helped me lift her up, and some of her vomit went on his hand. And I was holding her body in a position so she could lean over and vomit, trying to hold her on the toilet. And he was holding her head. And then when she vomited, some of the vomit touched his hand, and he immediately let go of her head, and her head fell forward and hit the toilet. And he went and vomited in the sink because he was so disgusted by her own vomit touching him. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. And the other girl was like, "What's wrong with you? How could you be vomiting just because of that reason? You're a paramedic. You must have seen worse." And I laughed. I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, D, you've seen worse than this. What's going on, man? You all right?" I just couldn't believe the facade that these girls were buying. But then the night got really crappy because this girl got up, went to my tub, pissed in my tub instead of just going to the toilet. Whiskey Tango, you know what the acronym Whiskey Tango means. The T stands for trash. And it blew my mind. Oh, by the way, she was hardcore racist. There was one point where we took her into the bathroom because she was vomiting all over the place. We didn't want her to vomit. My sheets had vomit on them, carpet, everything had vomit on it. My home smelled like vomit. And we put her in the tub, pre-piss, before she pissed in the tub. And Derek's idea was to take off her clothes. And then when she saw me in the bathroom, she woke up for just a moment, saw me in the bathroom, and her concern was that a black guy was in the bathroom watching her. And she freaked out. She's like, "Derek, I only want you in here. I don't want him in here." There was a point before she got totally wasted, when she first got to my home, that she said the following: "My parents taught me better than to hook up with a black guy." That's what she said. Oh, the me now, not the me then. The me then was, a stupid blue-pilled beta boy who, you know, had stupid ideals. The me now would say, "Hey, here's what we're gonna do then. Here's what we're gonna do. Take my crap, my alcohol, put that down, and get the F out of my house." That's what I should have done back then, but I didn't do that. But the night actually got worse eventually, because she was vomiting, and because unlike D, I knew, some paramedic training. I had some paramedic training. We couldn't allow her to sleep up there by herself because she might vomit and choke on her own vomit. So someone always had to be up there, and we took turns. This is from night till morning, by the way. No sleep. The sun came up, and the person who was up there mostly with her was me, trying to take care of her, not her friend. At one point in the night, the friend asked if we had any corn, and that's not with a C, to put on so she can watch. And D, since he loved Spanish girls, did, and tried to pull a move on her, and she wasn't allowing it. It's just a weird person. And Whiskey Tango finally woke up, got her wits about her somewhat, and wanted to give me a hug to say goodbye. And I just stood there while she hugged me, and she commented, "Oh, he wouldn't even hug me." I'm here thinking, well, yeah, because you're a racist piece of crap, and you made me, not made, but I ended up having to babysit you all night long. And I never saw her again. And afterwards, since my whole home smelt of vomit, I decided to wash my sheets. So I took the sheets, soaked them in the sink, tried to get some of the excess vomit out, and some towels, and I put them in my washer and dryer, which was those stacked washer and dryer with the dryers on top and the washers on the bottom. Went to sleep, and then I woke up, and my whole home was full of smoke. Apparently, one of the sheets wrapped around the plastic middle piece that rotates, and it got into the crack. I don't know how this could have happened, and the motor burnt itself out. Complete waste. So now I had to come out of pocket. I forget how much it was, but we're talking like 2005, 2004. I don't remember what it was when it was. A new washer and dryer back then was like around 300 bucks, 400 bucks. It wasn't a big deal. So, I mean, for me back then, since I had a decent paying career, so I bought a new washer and dryer, and it just what a miserable night, man. What a miserable night. Holding this completely naked white girl, you know, just carefully baby cradling her head, and sometimes she'll wake up and she was trying to shove her hand, and she was able to shove her entire hand down her mouth to try and make herself vomit. I mean, it didn't work, but what a ridiculous thing, man. So yeah, that's just another one of my many crazy stories when I was younger with dealing with these people. I don't know why I brought that up, man. I'm sorry. I have no idea. Oh yes, because I was saying how I need to go downstairs and put money, which I don't have, on my card so I can wash clothes. I haven't done laundry since before this last roommate left, and that was May 17th. That's how long I haven't done laundry. That's bad, but I'm trying to save money. I'm trying to save money, and I have sweaty clothes that I've worked out in the hot sun just festering in the my clothing basket. And what I used to do, and I used to get complimented about this a lot when I was a cop and I had my home and I had the washer and dryer. I washed clothes every day, man. Every day, because I knew taking a shirt full of sweat and throwing it in the corner for a week is terrible. You want to wash it immediately, get rid of the oil and the bacteria and whatever. But I had that luxury. I can do that. I can come home, take the clothes I wore under my uniform, which was going to be soaking sweat, full of sweat, because the bulletproof vest um, doesn't breathe, obviously, because it's a freaking thick piece of thing, like a shell on your chest. And then I would go to the gym after work, and that's all sweaty. So I'll take all of that and wash it. And I would often get compliments from people saying, "Man, you always smell good. You always smell clean. You always smell like freshly washed clothes and da 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 da." And I don't get those anymore. In fact, I sometimes smell so bad it disgusts me. And I buy cheap deodorant and I scarcely use it in a hope that I can, make everything last. Everything I have to make it last. My body wash generally lasts me 2 months, 3 months. Toothpaste will last me 6 months, not 6 months, maybe like 3 months. Everything I use sparingly, man, to try and save money. I'm extremely frugal. I have no choice but to be. But anyways, I think it's gonna be my last or second to last video. I've rambled enough and talked a lot, and all I have to show for it is another loss today. So yeah, I did my best, but this wasn't I would call a quality trade. Yes, a demand was formed. Yes, it formed not too far away from a level that was given on the newsletter. Yes, it formed just under a formation that it broke out of, but that was the thing. We broke out of the formation. Technically speaking, this should indicate a bullish pattern, and I don't know why I thought it'd take this long. If anything, I should have waited to see if a supply formed, which if you look carefully, it did here. It was a sloppy looking supply, but it did. I don't know if it'll look better on Nope, doesn't look any different on SPY. But this clear rejection was a rejection of the, or one would call it a retest of the formation that it broke out of. So one should already have a bearish view from here. If the fact that we didn't bounce here, more of a bearish view. And then yes, a demand was formed, but one should have looked to see if we can. I guess if I wanted to go long, I should have waited till we reclaimed this and maybe got a little bit higher, maybe. I don't know. Then we can continue going back up, but we didn't do that. We came up and very quickly was rejected back out of the formation and then bearish from there. But again, it just didn't make it beyond this point. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles, we just stayed in the same spot, or we just wouldn't get below here. Finally, it did, but as you can see from all these wicks, it's just not going any lower. So, um, also, I forgot to check the calendar to see what's going on. I don't know if some news was supposed to be coming out today, but I do know next week there's supposed to be a decision whether or not the FOMC is, or the Feds are going to raise interest rates or not, or if there's going to be a pause. So that should have quite the effect on the market next week. But yeah. Anyways.